All right, man. Welcome back to Agree to Disagree. And if you're new, welcome to Agree to Disagree. I'm my boy Jay Lloyd, EG, Craig, we got Pops. All right,
Glad
man.
to
You
be
already
here.
know. Let's kick it off right. We got these players of the week, man.
Uh-oh.
So we got the Joker again making this appearance on Player of the Week, averaging 26, 12, and 8.5 assists. They went 3-1 last week. And the Eastern Conference, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's back. Averaged 30, 12.7 rebounds. So I'm around that up to 13. And he's averaging 10 assists. So he averaged a triple-double last week. And with those numbers, they obviously went undefeated at 3-0. So those are our players of the week, man. The two most consistent power forwards in the league today. So we got a lot of Laker fans on this panel, man. Some more heartbreaking news. Got LeBron James out with a high ankle sprain. Already had AD out with a calf strain. So my question to you guys is, man, what does that mean for the Lakers? Well, we already know what that means. Some losing coming up, but in a more in a more pinpoint question, how far do they drop, man? LeBron's supposed to be out 2 or 3 weeks. He's very durable, so maybe he'll be back in a week. I doubt it. This is another way for him to get some rest. I think as long as they're in the playoffs, it don't matter who they play in the first round, honestly, and they're healthy. So I'm gonna start with you, Craig. How far do they drop, and what does this mean for those role guys that are still playing?
It means that a lot of guys get to step up, and also too, the Lakers can see who they have when it comes to making moves at the trade deadline or even next year. I heard been a lot of talk about THT. Do they let him go next year? Or they pay him. They have no choice. So those are the things. You guys got guys like Kuz stepping up. He really, and it's. I want to see some guys like. I want to see other guys step up, man, because it looks like after like the first month of the year, everybody's kind of been cold and relying on LeBron. But I think that if they could stay within the 6th seed, they'll be okay. I think they develop a big enough cushion right now. They're in the 3rd place in the Western Conference. What we don't want to do is be in a situation where they have to be in the play-in game, because then you guys got guys coming back off injury, trying to play too hard to get their team into the playoffs, and that'll be a disaster. So I'm hoping that they build up enough cushion to stay within the top 6 seeds. I don't know. I mean, that's just they said the average time out for a high ankle sprain is 10 games. So like you said, John, it's like 2 to 3 weeks. I just hope that the Lakers could go, 500. That'd be a blessing if they can only go, if they go 500 between that stretch. And because AD and LeBron should be back, around the same time. But for me, I'm that person where you stay out and get healthy, just make the playoffs, and then, don't try to kill yourself in the regular season. Just be healthy for the playoffs. And that's my take on that. But other guys gotta step up. And like I said, the Lakers got a lot of they got to look at a lot of players and decide what they're going to do for the long haul for this team.
Yeah. Looking at the standings, man, Lakers are the 3rd seed right now, but they're 2.5 games. They could be in 6. Just like that, off 2.5 games, and 3.5 games they could be in 7th, and 4.5 they can be in 8th. So it's about 10 games. We're looking for LeBron to be out. I feel like, but before it gets to that point, I'm gonna move to you, Jay. Before you give your point, I got a question. Does LeBron come back before he even gets to that point?
I think he's gonna try. I do. This is not good. This is not good. They're 28-15. They're, like you said, they're a game in front of the Clippers on the loss side. This could be catastrophic, and only because they got both of them out. You know, if AD was going, we'll be cool. We could stay third or fourth. But you got AD out, and you got LeBron out for, like y'all said, close to possibly 10 games. I mean, we look at, it's going to be real quick. We look at the Brooklyn situation. KD could chill right now a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like they can afford to let KD take his time to get back because James Harden's playing amazing and Kyrie, right? And you just got Blake. So they have the time to afford it. The Lakers team isn't built with that type of depth. They weren't built that way. They're a heavy LeBron dependent team. So you take that piece out. I don't know, fellas. I agree with Craig. If we could just hang on to 6, I think we all right. But bro, if we get to 7, 8, you know, like y'all said, that pressure for them to come back a little bit earlier is gonna mount, and then injuries could mount, and then that repeat season will be even more in jeopardy.
And that 8 seed is the Dallas Mavericks, who have kind of found their groove too, man. They've been hot.
Who, coach?
Hey man, Dallas Mavericks, bro.
Who's their best player, coach?
Luka Doncic.
Oh, for sure.
Luka Doncic. So like I said, man, Jay's trying to get on me about Luka, and all I was doing was holding my man accountable, and he's playing the way he should play. So I tip my hat to him for stepping up and getting these W's, putting up the same numbers. He didn't put up 15 more points and average 9 more rebounds and 10 more assists. He's putting up the same numbers, but they're just getting the job done now. So I tip my hat to Luka. But this is a Lakers segment, so we're not gonna get into that. Go ahead, Pop.
Just like anything, there's not a team in the league that can survive losing both superstars in the same season. And it's not enough you lose one, you lose both of them. So the Lakers are really they're in survival mode. Just survive. Now, you know, yeah, they may drop to the 8th seed, but the Lakers come back healthy, and you're the number 1 seed. Would you really want to play the 8th seed Lakers and you the number 1 team? That's not going to look good for you, because now these guys are healthy, and that's with any team. But with the Lakers, it's survival mode. That's what we got to be. The trade deadline is going to tell the true story. I think everybody's waiting on that shoe to drop with Andre Drummond. That's what the whole league waiting on. Everybody waiting to see what's going to happen with Andre Drummond.
You know, there's been a lot of whispers about him going to the Mavs too.
Ooh, it could be. But I mean, you would, if his agent has any type of sense. I mean, first of all, even with that, it's still a crapshoot, because I mean, Andre Drummond's been sitting down almost a month and a half now, man, of no hoop, and not injured. But with the Lakers, it's survival mode, just like Craig said. Guys got to step up. All you got to do, sometimes the scariest team to play is a wounded team. When everybody go, oh man, they finna be trash. Then that's what, you know, because they pros too. Now all it takes is a lightning bolt in one of those players, whether it be Kuz, THT, Trez, Schroeder. All it takes is a lightning bolt. And when everybody's writing them off, and all of a sudden, if the Lakers go 500 without AD and LeBron, then I'm going to get my sparkling cider ready, because you know you just don't want to do that, because I've seen it happen, and all it takes is for teams to be able to maintain. And I mean, we saw that when we had the young Laker group. Everybody go, oh man, they're not going to beat them. What does the young group do? They used to go out there and beat teams like, whoa. Think about when they had those young dudes. They used to give Golden State a problem when Golden State was at their peak. So you just never know. It's just survival mode. If they can survive it, they'll be fine. No panic.
Wishful thinking, Pops.
Okay.
Go ahead, BG.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the thing we're not really looking at, and it's well known, LeBron, all the money he puts into his body, but the high ankle sprain is probably the worst sprain you can have. And it's he's older now. Not saying his body's breaking down, but there's always father time, man. And it's obviously like I'm not wishing upon it, but it's if he comes like Pop said it best, if he comes back and the Lakers are in that survival mode and they go 500 like Craig said and Pop said, and they come back healthy and they're normal, that's tough. But it's all going to depend on if they say 10 games, but everybody's different. And then like you said, John, if he tries to rest you back because they're struggling and they're losing playoff spots, then you run the risk of hurting it even more. But I think they'll be all right. I agree with Pops to a certain point about a wounded team. They're going to go out there, they're going to compete, and the guys are going to show what they could do. But at the end of the day, when those two guys comes back, and I've said it before, those two guys come back, those shots get taken away. So it's like, yeah, they can step up and they can do their thing, but those playoff shots aren't going to be there. But for the coaching staff, it also shows you, I remember this guy. We could trust this guy in this situation. So I think that's what's going to be the most important part. But I don't think guys stepping up is really going to make any difference if AD and LeBron come back healthy. Because it's at the end of the day, they're going to get those shots regardless.
PG, 10 games. What's their record?
I say 3-7.
Pops.
I mean, ain't that much difference between 7 games and 10 games? That's what we got to remember too. I mean, he can feel good at 7 games, and LeBron's good enough to fake it through 3 more.
Right.
I want to say 500. Looking at the schedule now, there are some winnable games, but to be realistic, I'll say 4-6. And we also got to think too. I think Gasol is finally coming back. So that's another piece that they're missing.
Who?
Gasol.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, yeah. So 4-6, man. 4-6 to be realistic.
Hey.
I'm a punch job, man. I'm a punch Greg. Can you give me those 10 appointments? Can you give me them 10 games real quick? You run them off?
Yeah, so we got tomorrow, we got the Pelicans, and then you have 76ers, Cavaliers.
No, they don't have Ben or Embiid, I think.
Okay.
Embiid still hurt. Then you got the Cavaliers, you got the Magic, Bucks, Kings, Clippers, Raptors. 2, 4, 6, 8. Then you got the Heat, then the Nets.
Woo.
So you got to think. Some of the games.
They get 3 or 4 of those.
They'll get 3 or 4. What's grabbing is some of the games that they should win, they're gonna lose, and some of the games they shouldn't win, they're gonna win.
Right.
So
I'm gonna roll with BG, man. I'm gonna go about 3. I'm gonna go about 3-7. I'm gonna go about 3-7. It's gonna be some 3-7.
Oh.
We'll take it one game at a time. I think tomorrow will be a good test.
For real.
They got tomorrow, Pelicans?
Pelicans tomorrow. We'll see.
Man.
All right. I'm gonna go respectfully. I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna say 3-7. I wanted to say 2-8 because the only team I think they're gonna beat are the Magic and the Kings. Because I don't know. I just feel like Colin Sexton's gonna try to come in there and put on the show. No LeBron, no AD. I like Colin Sexton. He's a gamer. He's not that, but he's a gamer. So never mind. I swap. I'm gonna swap the Kings with the Cavs.
Okay, I'm about to say they can beat the Cavs.
I'm gonna swap the Kings with the Cavs. They might get the Cavs. So it's a possibility they go 1-9, but I don't know, man.
Ooh.
Why not?
I only feel like they for sure beating the Magic. They'll for sure beat the Magic. That's just me, though, man.
It's gonna be tough though. They start slipping that media, and everybody's like, "We're fine," but that's gonna be a little different. 7th and 8th seed, I feel like it's.
So it might open up 4-0. I mean, if they can get the Pelicans, wounded 76ers, the Cavs,
That's what I'm saying.
and then the Magic, Then they believed in themselves. Then they got the Bucks.
He said they believe in themselves.
Well, like Pop said, a wounded team.
I mean, a wounded team,
They're
man.
gonna lose
A
6 in a
wounded
row
team.
after
Look,
those 4.
Oh,
man, a
Four
wounded
and-
listen, man, because you gotta realize, think about, man, the trade deadline coming up in a few days. That's when it's gonna be telltale on everybody. But that trade deadline is coming up in a few days. When all
Who are
that's
they
going to
getting,
happen,
Pops?
they're not trading anybody. Everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen with Andre Drummond. Everybody's waiting to see.
yeah, but y'all still gotta play them 10 games. If he gets traded, it don't matter where he go. Y'all still gotta play them 10
but
games.
what I'm saying is, you know, they got. I've seen them do it, man. With that, like Craig said, they'll win a game against a team that you least expect. They'll win a game against.
Who?
They'll mess around. They may lose to the Magic and beat the Bucks. That's how the Lakers do. That's what they'll do, something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
They will do. They'll lose against the Cavaliers and beat the Clippers. They'll do something like that.
Look at your face.
All right.
I think
Okay.
I think Jay said it best, man. This team is not constructed right, man.
It might not be constructed. It might not be
LeBron being
constructed.
there.
But here again, they already know, man. These dudes is pro. They already know. Hey, man, Cat's writing us off. Cat's got us barely making the playoff. Man,
no one said that. No one
I'm
said
just saying that with the Cats in the league. I'm not saying we said it, but there's gonna be like, oh man, they're gonna fail, and there's gonna be dudes and they're gonna like, hey man, look, nah, man, if they go 500, man, please. But you like I said, you just don't. You really, it's gonna be hard because Cat's gonna be. We don't know what's going on with none of these teams because it's gonna be happening. The 25th is gonna tell it all for a lot of people.
All right, man.
Which way they go. But they go 3-7. If they go 3-7, that's fine. They better take that and run. If they go 3-7, because LeBron will be back by game 8. He ain't gonna wait to 10. If he sees it failing, he's coming back at 7 or 8. That's just LeBron. I'll walk it up the court. I'll watch how I move. I mean, that Cats know how to play with injury. They know how to do it. I won't cut as hard. I only cut if I have to. All that.
All right. So speaking hypothetically, if LeBron doesn't come back in those 10 games, Jay, you got 3-7. E, you got 3-7. Craig, you got 4-6. Pops, you had
3-7.
3-7. Respectfully, I got them at 3-7 too. Respectfully. But yeah, man. Let us know down in the comments what y'all think, man. I honestly think if they're in the playoffs, they're gonna be fine. The only thing that might hurt them is a little lack of chemistry, but playing throughout the playoffs, they'll get that back, man. So at this point, you just want to come back as healthy as you can, especially having a veteran LeBron James and having AD as your hand man. So thanks for watching, man. This is Agree to Disagree. And my boy Jay Lloyd, BG, Fred, Pops.
Yay!
And I'm John, man. Until next time. Yeah.